Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe back, and I'm going to do my weekly reading update for March 3rd, 2019. So, actually, I had a fairly good reading week. I wish I'd had a lot more. I had 2 snow days, and I think I would have got a lot done on those 2 days I was home and I could read, and I didn't. I read some, but, not as much as I was hoping. Sorry, my cat just got over, of course, on my computer as I'm doing this. It drives me crazy. Anyway, Cooper, yes, we know. So if I yell at him, you know why. So this week I was hoping to read a lot more for the end of February, just to finish some things up. And I did finish up the book I was reading, and then I made really good progress in the audiobook I was working on. But I still feel like I should have read a lot more if I had that much time, but I spent a lot of time watching TV or YouTube or, you know, just goofing off because I could, I guess. So anyway, so we're going to go through the books that I finished, the things I'm in the middle of, and then what I think I'm going to read this next week. So, what day was it? I must have been Wednesday, one of the snow days. I sat down and finished Closed in Common Orbit by Becky Chambers. This is book 2 in the Wayfarer series. I don't actually know if it's just a trilogy because there's 3 out right now. I have not heard if it's like completed or she's gonna keep going. I hope she keeps going just because I did really enjoy this. I didn't like it as much as the first one, but I hear that you're usually one or the other of the first 2 books. They're written very, her style is the same, but it's structured very differently for me, and it's following you know, 2 timelines, which I like a lot of times. So that wasn't the problem with this. Really, I just found the ensemble cast in the first book much more engaging for me, but I liked these characters as well. I liked hearing their journey and seeing one of their pasts, and I'm gonna go kill the cat. Anyway, cat, hey! No, get down, come here. Anyway. So, but I really enjoy this. So this is a sci-fi novel about, mostly about 2 characters, Pepper and another character from the first book. So I don't want to give spoilers about who that is. But you see they're one, you know, in the present day, kind of how they're dealing with the things she has to deal with. And then Pepper we're getting a lot of her back history, which is very fascinating for that. Because I wasn't expecting that. So it was kind of neat. So overall, I really enjoy this. I still, you know, I still really liked it. I just, I think I liked the first book more because it was more of an ensemble cast and it just worked better for me. But I still really enjoy this and definitely recommend it. I'm definitely hoping to pick up A Record of a Spaceborne Few soon, which again is another, it's not connected to these 2 books, but they're kind of in the same, you know, they're companion novels or something. I don't think it has anybody that's in the first 2 books. I don't know. We'll find out. I'm going to give it a couple months and then I'll probably pick it up. But I want to finish out that series, or at least catch up Cooper series this year. Again, my goal this year is to try to clear up some series that I have not finished. I have a lot of 3rd books of series that I haven't finished. So this is one I want to finish that as well. So again, I really enjoyed that for sci-fi because it's very light. It's not super heavy sci-fi. If that is more your thing, I would pick up these books. And then I couldn't decide what to read, so of course I picked up another Anne Bishop book. So this is Vision in Silver. This is book 3 in the other series. I love this series. You guys have no idea how long it's been since I've had an urban fantasy series that just drew me in and makes me want to go read the books right away and not hold off on them. Because I do have a tendency to read the first book of a lot of series and then never continue. And I have a lot of those on my shelf, and I have a lot of first books, which is why I'm going to try to do another try a chapter pretty soon to try to get through a few more to figure out if I want to keep them or continue. So this series, of course, was on my first try a chapter video on urban fantasies, and I am just loving this series. Again, this is book 3 that I've read within the 2 months, and I just ordered the next ones because I don't have them. I only had the first 3 from a book sale at some point. So anyway, this is an urban fantasy, but it's kind of like an alternate history where humans have only carved out certain areas of the world, and the other places are wild places, which are the other cat's making noises in the other room. Sorry. That they The others are like the shifters, the vampires, the elementals who are very powerful. And then there's some other things that we learned about in here, which are just making this series just so awesome. Anyway, so there's always the urban fantasy, the mystery part of it. So technically this kind of counts for March Mystery Madness. There's a mystery in here. There's always a mystery in urban fantasy. That's part of its charm, is it has all the fantasy stuff that I love and a mystery. Someone's always trying to hurt somebody else for some reason, and you're trying to figure out why or what they're after. So this is my first March Mystery Madness read, even though it's an urban fantasy. Anyway, I count it. Doesn't matter. I count it. So... And those of you doing March Mystery Madness, I think most of my stuff that I try, I can say it has a mystery in it because I am really attracted to mysteries. Anyway, so this series, so far, I've read 3 books. I recommend this completely so far. I mean, I'm going to read 4 and 5 probably really soon in the first series. And then there's a spin-off series, I think, that I also got the first book to that. Because the second book of that series is coming out this month, but... that I won't get because it's hardback, so I'll probably get it from the library probably in a few months after I read all the other books. But I am super enjoying this. I love all the characters. There's a huge ensemble cast, and you get to see so many different things. And I like the questions in here. I like the way she deals with the world building, and for sure her world building is just phenomenal. And I like the way that a lot of the things that I think about, like, well, what about that? Then she'll answer that question at some point. Now, not everything. I don't think it's the most perfect thing, ever. I think there's still a few gaps that I'm still waiting for her to answer questions to, but I still think it's so good for what it is. I totally, I will probably reread this series later this year after I've finished all of them. I bet I'll reread them. You'll have to wait and see. We'll find out. Anyway, so I picked that up because so that was like the 27th, and I had a snow day. I was stuck at home, and I did a lot of chores first, and then I actually picked that up because I could not get myself to choose another book, and I didn't want to, which seems so stupid. I didn't want to choose off of my March TBR, which made no sense. I was 2 days from, and I was like, but I finally chose it because, of course, I wanted to read that so bad. So, anyway, that's sad. So sometimes you just have to go with your gut and read what you want. Which I'm trying to do a lot more of, because I'm finding that if I structure too much, I don't enjoy as much. And I tried, as I said, that's why I'm pretty loose on all the readathons I'm taking part in this month, is that I just say, well, I'm gonna do something for that, but I don't know for sure if that's gonna work or not. So that's why I'm counting that as my first March Mystery Madness, even though I technically started it a little early. I finished it yesterday, so it was awesome. I loved that book. Anyway, so the book I'm in the middle of right now is Washington, A Life by Ron Chernow. I'm listening to this on audio in my car, and I took a little road trip yesterday to the other side of Portland to Gresham just because I wanted to listen to more of this. I didn't have to. I just was bored. And I thought, oh, I'll just get in the car and I'll go to that bookstore. Yeah, buy some books. Yeah. Anyway, so it was fun. Anyway, a lot of traffic though. That was kind of the stupid thing. But anyway, I've been listening to this. I'm just over halfway. And again, this is for March the Mammoths, or Marching Mammoths, and that Old Blues Chapter and Verse and Big Al Books and somebody else ran in my head their name. They're all doing this month. So again, Washington was the one I picked for my audiobook, and I did start it early, and I don't regret that. I think I got a lot of progress over the last week, and then now and then this week as well. And I think it's a great biography. I'm really enjoying Ron Chernow's style, and I can't wait because I have of course I have 2 other books. I have one other book by him on my shelf that I'll read hopefully later this year. We'll find out. Matters how I go with these presidential biographies. But this is a really good one so far. I just love how it destigmatifies, or it takes away, doesn't make you worship Washington. It's more showing him as a real man, and I love that because it's more realistic, and but it's a lot of things that I didn't know about, because again, I've read a lot of stuff about the Revolutionary War part of his time, but I have not read the other stuff. So like right now I'm in between the war and his presidency, so we haven't even got to the point where he's have anything to do with that yet. Right now he's in private life for the couple of years in between. So anyway, I'm really enjoying this and I totally recommend it. And I keep listening to this for the rest, as long until we get through the month. So again, that'll be it's one of my mammoths. So I'm trying to get through that. So then I'm going to talk about the things I think I'm going to start today and tomorrow. So there's like 3 things here, and so I'm not sure how I'm going to do this on 2 of them. So let me first do, I am going to do the reread of Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Steve Donahue is doing a read-along for this month, because he's trying to get all you people who haven't read this before to read it, and I think you should. I think it's worth it. Again, it's one of my favorite books of all time, so I'm a little... a little prejudiced. I have good reasons that I think everybody should read it anyway, but I'm gonna reread it. So like today, I'm probably, after I do all my stuff that I need to get done, I'll probably read the first, he's doing 15 chapters every week, so I'm gonna read the first 15 chapters. And again, it's a reread for me. I don't remember the last time I read it. It's been a while, but not that long, so I don't know, but I like to reread it, so I'll probably reread it this month along with the read along. So at least every week I'll do, the 15 chapters and get it done sometime during the week, and then wait for his video. I want to see what he says about that, because it'll be interesting. So so if you want to read Pride and Prejudice, I would do it now. I don't know why my computer's making noises. And then I'm gonna start my next March of the Mammoths book. So this is physically I'm gonna read, and this is the book that is one of the oldest books on my bookshelf that I have not read, and that is 20 Years After by Alexander Dumas. So again, this is the second book in the Three Musketeers D'Artagnan romances series. I have never continued, and I have always wanted to, so this is the year we're going to do it, and this is the month I'm going to start this book. So I'm hoping I love it, but we'll find out what happens. This picks up the story like 20 years after the Three Musketeers. So this will be interesting because they'll all be a little older. I'm not sure how this is gonna go. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm really excited for this. So and again, this is just over. It's like 240 pages with the notes. So it's like, as I said, it's really close to the 800 page mark. But with all the, I'm gonna be reading the notes, so that's why I counted it. So, but I still was gonna read it anyway. This is when I told myself I had to read before April, so we got to read it in March. And then this next week is translateathon. So what's really funny is I didn't even think about this when I did my TBR, but I thought of it this morning, this is actually translated. So from the French, I'm trying to think, the translator I think is David Coward, and so I will be reading this during translateathon, so that works, right? Yeah, so that covers both of those. But I'm also going to try to read Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Murata. And just because everybody's talking about it. And now it is, again, it has to do with a woman who is kind of living very, like she has this convenience store job. And she doesn't really want to change. She likes it, but everybody else thinks she should change. So I'm not sure how that all plays out. I hear it's really good. It looks like a really fast read. The font is super huge. I mean, the margins are huge. So I don't think this will be a long read, but I'd like to read this week as well. So I might, I was thinking about taking this to work and reading it on my lunches this week. I still think I'll have to bring it home and read, but it's only like 160 pages. So I could get quite a bit done during lunch. I only get a half hour. I don't get a whole lot, but I meant, like I could read this on my breaks and stuff, and then, finish it off this week. But I thought that I'd keep this for at home. We'll see how this goes. I don't know. I'm not very good about reading multiple books except for audio and a physical, or audio and an ebook. It's more, I'm not sure how that's going to go. But that is kind of my thing. And if I happen to finish Convenience Store Woman, if I decide to blow through that and, I get into it, then I have a couple other translated works that I could pick up. Unfortunately, none of them are like a mystery, except for one that's like 650 pages, which I'm not going to touch. So whatever I pick up, it'll probably be a small, probably another Japanese one, but I have a couple other translated works as well. So that is all the stuff I read and I'm in the middle of, and the stuff I'm going to start. So, how are your guys' week going? Are you guys doing all the different readathons, read-alongs? It sounds like a lot right now because of translateathon is for this next week. But really, I was already going to read 20 years after, so that's kind of cool that I was already going to do that. And then, of course, I'm making my way through my March of the Mammoths. So I don't have a book right now like slated for the next March Mystery Madness book, but I'm figuring I have a couple on my shelf that are on my TBR that I'll pick up as soon as maybe once I get through 20 years after, or if I need a break from that and I just need to read something quick or fast. And of course the mysteries I have are by authors I like, that I've already read, that I know I can get through. And then I'm hoping by the end of the month I get to start picking up willy-nilly any mysteries I have on my shelf, because I have so many. So we'll see what happens. As I said, I think the first part of the month I was trying to get a lot of things done so that the end of the month I could be more of a mood reader. But we'll see how this goes. I hope I like these books, that I continue and read them. And what are you guys reading? Anything good? Let me know. Talk to you guys later. Bye.